Hello students. The next topic from the chapter of posterior abdominal wall is the autonomic nerves of the abdomen. Okay. So you know about the autonomic nervous system. It contains of two parts, sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. Okay. In this video, I'll talk only about the parasympathetic nervous system, that is the parasympathetic nerves of the abdomen. Now, the parasympathetic nerves are motor and secretomotor to the gut and glands associated with it. That means parasympathetic nerves is required for motor activity. Okay, motor activity means movement of the organs. Okay, intestines are moving. Okay, for digestion there is motility present. For motility, the parasympathetic nerves are the main nerves which takes the function. Also secretomotor, that means it helps in secretion from the glands. Okay, whether it is pyloric glands. Okay, there is pyloric glands, gastric glands. There are glands which are present in the large intestine, small intestines. So these glands are supplied by parasympathetic nerves and they help in secretion. Okay, so this is the function of parasympathetic nerves which are supplying the abdomen, the viscera of the abdomen. Okay, now if we take this, the parasympathetic nerves, okay, the parasympathetic nerves are of two origin, that is from the cranial outflow and it is from the sacral outflow. Okay, the parasympathetic nerves are from two origin, the cranial outflow, okay, that is from the cranial cavity, that is from the brain, and the sacral outflow, that is from the sacral vertebrae. So the parasympathetic nerves supplying the abdomen cavity and the abdominal viscera are from the cranial origin and the sacral origin. Okay, now the cranial origin is mainly the vagus nerve. Okay, so this is a very important thing to remember, that is the parasympathetic nerves supplying the abdomen is main nerve is the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is the 10th cranial nerve. Okay, now there are preganglionic neurons, okay, and also postganglionic neurons. Okay, so preganglionic, that is before the ganglion. What is a ganglion? It's a bunch of neurons. So preganglionic and postganglionic neurons. Also in sympathetic would be preganglionic and postganglionic neurons. You all know about the autonomic nervous system, so I will not go in detail of this. But preganglionic neurons are from the 3rd, 7th, 9th and 10th cranial nerves. Okay, so parasympathetic, the cranial outflow, the preganglionic neurons are from the 3rd, 7th, 9th and 10th cranial nerve. Okay, but here we are concerned with the abdominal cavity, abdominal part. So mainly the preganglionic neurons are from the 10th cranial nerve, that is the vagus nerve. Okay, now this vagus nerve, it arises from the brain stem. Okay, it arises from the brain stem. So if you see this, the vagus nerve, it arises from the brain stem. So that is the parasympathetic. Okay, so this main parasympathetic is the vagus nerve. Okay, now this vagus nerve, they leave from the medulla oblongata of the brain stem. Okay, this vagus nerve, it arises from the medulla oblongata of the brain stem. Okay, so this much is clear. So parasympathetic, okay, the parasympathetic nerves is from cranial outflow. Okay, it is from cranial outflow and it is from sacral outflow. I am not talking right now about the sacral outflow. I am just talking about the cranial outflow. Okay, it is from the vagus nerve. The preganglionic neurons is from 3rd, 7th and 9th and 10th cranial nerve. But when you are concerned with the abdomen, it is only 10th cranial nerve. This vagus nerve, it arises from the medulla oblongata of the brain stem. Okay, so this is about the vagus nerve. Now, the postganglionic neurons of the parasympathetic nervous system is located close to or within the substance of the organs that it supplies. Now, the preganglionic neurons, it will arise from the vagus nerve. The fibers will reach the postganglionic neuron. So, fibers arising from the preganglionic neuron is from the vagus nerve. These fibers will synapse with the postganglionic neurons. This postganglionic neuron is available. Okay, so this postganglionic neurons is located or it is available within the organ or surrounding the organ, okay, to which it is supplying. Okay, so fibers from the postganglionic neuron will go to the organ. Okay, so if we take in rough, suppose this is vagus. So very roughly I am describing. This is vagus now. Okay, from it the preganglionic fibers it arises. Okay, it will go to the postganglionic neuron. Postganglion. Okay, so this is surrounding the organ, any organ. If we take stomach, so it is around the walls of this stomach, okay, or on the lining of the stomach. So fibers arise from here and it will supply the organ, suppose stomach. Okay, so this is preganglionic fibers. It will synapse with the postganglion. Okay, and the postganglionic fibers will arise and it will supply the viscera. This ganglion, bunch of neurons, is surrounding the substance of organs or it is in close contact with the organ. Now, in the thorax, the vagus nerve fibers, okay, that is the vagus nerve fibers, that is the preganglionic fibers, they form anterior esophageal plexus and the posterior esophageal plexus. So what I am saying, the vagus nerve, it arises from the brain stem, okay, that is the medulla oblongata. Okay, it in the thorax, okay, its fibers, that is preganglionic fibers in the thorax of the vagus nerve, they form the anterior esophageal plexus and the posterior esophageal plexus. The anterior esophageal plexus, okay, the fibers arising from this plexus, it forms the anterior vagal trunk, and posterior esophageal plexus, the fibers from this plexus, they form the posterior vagal trunk. Okay, so anterior vagal trunk is formed by the anterior esophageal plexus. Plexus is a network of nerves, and posterior esophageal plexus, the fibers form the posterior vagal trunk. Okay, now this anterior vagal trunk, okay, and posterior vagal trunk is formed. This anterior vagal trunk is basically coming from the left vagus nerve. Okay, so anterior esophageal plexus, the fibers coming from the left vagus nerve, it forms the anterior vagal trunk, and posterior esophageal plexus, the fibers coming from the right vagus nerve, they form the posterior vagal trunk. Now this two trunk, it is formed in the thorax. Yes, these two trunks, anterior and posterior vagal trunk, this formed in the thorax. It will enter the diaphragm. Okay, it will enter the abdomen. Sorry, it will enter the abdomen through the esophageal opening in the diaphragm. So it will enter the abdomen from the esophageal opening in the diaphragm. Okay, and in the abdomen it will give the parasympathetic supply. Okay, so it will unite with the postganglionic fibers or neurons. Okay, so this was about the cranial outflow. Okay, so this was about the cranial outflow. Now I will talk about the sacral outflow. Okay, what is the sacral outflow? Now preganglionic neurons, okay, from the ventral nerve roots of sacral vertebrate 2nd, 3rd and 4th, there is preganglionic neurons arises, and these are known as pelvic splanchnic nerves. Okay, so from preganglionic neurons S2, S3 and S4, from the ventral nerve roots, there arises the preganglionic neurons, and they are known as pelvic splanchnic nerves. Okay, the organs supplied by the pelvic splanchnic nerves are the urinary bladder UB, rectum, testes or ovaries, uterus, uterine tubes and the penis or clitoris. So pelvic splanchnic nerves arising from the preganglionic neurons of S2, S3 and S4 supplies urinary bladder, rectum, testes, ovaries, testes in males, ovaries in females, uterus, uterine tubes and penis or clitoris. Okay, now pelvic splanchnic nerves. This pelvic splanchnic nerves, they go to the inferior hypogastric plexus. Now if I show you here in the diagram, you see here from S2, S3 and S4, these preganglionic fibers are arising and they are known as pelvic splanchnic nerves. So they will supply the organs which I have mentioned. Now this pelvic splanchnic nerve, see, if you see, it is going towards the inferior hypogastric plexus. It is going towards the inferior hypogastric plexus. Now where is this inferior hypogastric plexus? This inferior hypogastric plexus is surrounding the internal iliac artery. Okay. Now see, this is abdominal aorta. From above I will show you. This is abdominal aorta. It is bifurcating into right and left common iliac artery. Then it will go form the internal and external iliac arteries. Yes, it will divide into internal and external iliac arteries. So the inferior hypogastric plexus is surrounding the internal iliac artery. It is surrounding the internal iliac artery. Okay. Now this inferior hypogastric plexus, it supplies the rectum and upper part of anal canal. So fibers coming from the inferior hypogastric plexus, it supplies the rectum and the upper part of anal canal. Okay. Now the remaining fibers goes to the superior hypogastric plexus. Now from the inferior hypogastric plexus, the fibers will go towards the superior hypogastric plexus. The fibers will go towards the superior hypogastric plexus. Now this superior hypogastric plexus is found surrounding the bifurcation before, just above the bifurcation of the abdominal aorta. Now you all know that abdominal aorta bifurcates 2.5 centimeter just below the umbilicus. Okay, and it bifurcates as right and left common iliac arteries. So just above the bifurcation of the abdominal aorta, you have this superior hypogastric plexus. Now inferior hypogastric plexus, it unites with the superior hypogastric plexus with the help of right and left hypogastric nerves. So these are the hypogastric nerves, right hypogastric nerve, left hypogastric nerve. So inferior hypogastric plexus, it connects with the superior hypogastric plexus with the help of right hypogastric nerve and the left hypogastric nerve. Okay. Now, superior hypogastric plexus, okay, fibers coming to it, it supplies the 1/3 of the transverse colon, it will supply the descending colon, and it will supply the sigmoid colon. Okay. So, if you see, inferior hypogastric plexus supplies the rectum and the upper part of anal canal, and superior hypogastric plexus will supply the upper part. Okay. It will supply the sigmoid colon, the descending colon, and 1/3 of the transverse colon. Okay. Now, postganglionic neurons are located in the mesenteric and submucosal plexus. Mesenteric and submucosal plexus. So, these are the postganglionic neurons. Okay. You understood this part? Now, the main parasympathetic nerves will be vagus and the pelvic splanchnic nerves, which are mentioned right now. Okay. The vagus and the pelvic splanchnic nerves. The vagus is the cranial outflow and the pelvic splanchnic nerve is the sacral outflow. Okay. Now, the vagus outflow, I'll talk. The vagus outflow, the preganglionic neurons is from 3rd, 7th, 9th and 10th. But important is the 10th cranial nerve as far as the abdomen is concerned. Okay. So, preganglionic fibers are from the vagus nerve. This preganglionic fibers, that is the vagus nerve, it will leave from the medulla oblongata of the brain stem, and it ends in the abdomen via the esophageal hiatus, where it runs over the vagal trunk and it runs over the surface of the stomach. Okay. This I have already explained you when I did about the vagus outflow. Okay. So, preganglionic fibers and postganglionic is just close to the surface of the organ where it is supplying. In the thorax, the vagus nerve, it forms anterior and posterior esophageal plexus. The fibers which comes from this plexus, it forms the anterior vagal trunk. And mainly which fibers? The fibers from the left vagal nerve, vagus nerve. Okay. Posterior esophageal plexus, the fibers arising forms the posterior vagal trunk, and this is mainly from the right vagus nerve. Now, this two trunk, they from the thorax, it will enter the abdomen via the esophageal opening in the diaphragm, and in the abdomen it will supply the viscera. Okay. So, this was about the cranial outflow. Now, one more thing, the posterior trunk of the vagus. Okay. The posterior trunk of the vagus. Okay. Which is mainly formed from the right vagus nerve. It goes to form celiac plexus. Now, if you see this diagram, the posterior trunk. So, this is brain stem. This is big vagus nerve. So, the posterior trunk. Okay. If you take posterior trunk, which is mainly formed from the right vagus nerve, this posterior trunk, it forms, okay, it goes to form celiac plexus. Now, where is this celiac plexus? This celiac plexus is at the level of the celiac trunk. Celiac trunk is one of the important branch of the abdominal aorta. If you have seen my previous video of the abdominal aorta, this celiac trunk arises from the upper border of L1 vertebrae. Okay, if you have studied my video on abdominal aorta, you must know this. Okay, so the posterior vagal trunk, okay, mainly formed from the fibers of the right vagus nerve, it reaches the celiac trunk, okay, and it will form celiac plexus around the celiac trunk. Now, you all remember the branches of the celiac trunk, that is the left gastric artery, the common hepatic artery and the splenic artery. So, from the posterior vagal trunk, the celiac plexus are formed surrounding the celiac trunk, and celiac trunk is one of the important branch of the abdominal aorta. Okay, so understood? Now, So this is a very long presynaptic fiber. So if you see, it's a very long presynaptic fiber, student, arising from the brain stem and reaching up to the abdomen, passing through the diaphragm, the esophageal opening, and then it reaches the celiac trunk. So it's a very long presynaptic fiber. One of the longest presynaptic parasympathetic fiber is the of the vagus nerve. One of the longest, arising from the brain, passing the thorax and reaching up to the celiac trunk. So it's a very long presynaptic fiber. Okay. These fibers run within the celiac plexus and follows the arterial supply of organs of foregut. It goes to the foregut, and in the foregut it synapses with the small postsynaptic fibers within the wall of the target organ. Okay. Now these fibers, okay, these are pre-ganglionic fibers, okay. It will go to the celiac trunk, it forms celiac plexus, and from this the fibers will arise, and these fibers will supply the organs of the foregut. If you remember, I have mentioned in the topic of abdominal aorta, the celiac trunk is supplying the organs of the foregut. Okay, so this nerve supply is also to the organs of the foregut. Okay, now it goes to the foregut and it will synapse with the organs, with the postsynaptic fibers surrounding the organs of the foregut. The posterior trunk within the celiac plexus passes down within the superior mesenteric plexus, where these presynaptic fibers follow the branches of the superior mesenteric artery to the organs of the midgut. Now, this presynaptic from the posterior vagal trunk, this presynaptic fiber will reach the celiac trunk. It forms celiac plexus. The postganglionic fibers will go up to the organs of the foregut and supplied. Now, some fibers, this pre-ganglionic fibers, some of the fibers will reach up to the superior mesenteric artery. This is also one of the branch of the abdominal aorta. So celiac trunk is from the upper border of the L1. Superior mesenteric artery is present at the lower border of the L1. So this fibers from the vagus, it also goes down from the celiac plexus, and then from the celiac plexus it goes down to the superior mesenteric plexus, superior mesenteric artery, and it will form superior mesenteric plexus. This plexus, the fibers will arise and it will synapse with the organs arising from the midgut. Okay. So, okay, where the presynaptic fibers follow the branches of the superior mesenteric artery to the organs of the midgut. Along this long presynaptic fiber will synapse with the postsynaptic fiber of the target organ. You understood? So this way, this will supply to the midgut. You understood? This will supply the midgut. Clear? Okay. Now we'll go. This is about the vagal outflow. Okay. You understood about the vagal outflow. Now I'll talk about the sacral outflow. You know this preganglionic fibers from S2, S3, S4. These are from the ventral roots. It's called pelvic splanchnic nerves, and this supply the urinary bladder, the rectum, testis. Okay, and this splanchnic nerves you all know. Now this also I have taught you right now. Now what it is said, the pelvic splanchnic nerves, they arises from S2, S3 and S4. This also I have explained. It arises from S2, S3 and S4, and it forms preganglionic fibers are known as pelvic splanchnic nerves. So preganglionic fibers are known as pelvic splanchnic nerves. Okay. They run towards the inferior hypogastric plexus. This also I have explained. Where are the inferior hypogastric plexus? It is, there are two inferior hypogastric plexus, right and left. This is surrounding the internal iliac artery. Okay, this is surrounding the internal iliac artery. Okay, within the hypogastric plexus, this nerves, okay, this nerve will reach up to the superior hypogastric plexus. It reaches up to the superior hypogastric plexus with the help of right and left hypogastric nerve. So it will reach the superior hypogastric plexus. Superior hypogastric plexus is just above the bifurcation of the abdominal aorta. So superior hypogastric plexus is just about the bifurcation of the abdominal aorta. Now, superior hypogastric plexus, this goes into the inferior mesenteric plexus. So this fiber will go into, from superior hypogastric plexus, it goes into the inferior mesenteric plexus. Now this inferior mesenteric plexus, you all know it is surrounding the inferior mesenteric artery. It is surrounding the inferior mesenteric artery. And where the inferior mesenteric artery is? At the level of the body of L3 vertebrae, which I have taught you in the branches of the abdominal aorta. So inferior mesenteric plexus, the nerves will go from superior hypogastric plexus towards the inferior mesenteric plexus. And this long presynaptic fiber will synapse with the short postsynaptic fibers along the walls of the target organ. You all know inferior mesenteric artery supplies the organs of the hindgut. It will supply the organs of the hindgut. So inferior mesenteric plexus, it supplies the organs of the hindgut. Okay, so this is over. Celiac trunk, celiac plexus from the vagus surrounding the celiac trunk supplies the organs of the foregut. Then from here it goes down, that is the vagus, superior mesenteric artery, superior mesenteric plexus, and it supplies the organ of the midgut. And inferior mesenteric plexus surrounding the inferior mesenteric artery, and it will supply the organ of the hindgut. And this is coming from below. Okay, this plexus is coming from below. Okay, so this was about the parasympathetic nervous system. In the next video, I will talk about the sympathetic nervous system. Thank you, students.